I told you that greatness already exists within you, that the only barrier between where you stand and where you could be is your own self-impulsion, that the respect you receive from others directly reflects the respect you have for yourself. Act as if you're extraordinary. Enter every situation as if you own it. Speak with the authority of someone who's already achieved. Project an unwavering certainty that no one surpasses you, not from arrogance, not from ego, but from refusing to let self-doubt limit your potential because you understand that greatness isn't reserved for a select few. It belongs to anyone bold enough to claim it. Vision, the foundation of all achievement. Every monumental success begins with an all-consuming vision. Not a casual interest, not a fleeting thought, but a complete obsession with your objective. Those who dominate in life don't merely want achievement, they require it. Their vision powers them through every obstacle, every setback, every moment of resistance. Consider the transformative figures throughout history, individuals who reshaped reality through pure determination and relentless drive. Alexander Graham Bell failed countless times before perfecting the telephone. Did he merely hope for success? No. He was consumed by his vision. He viewed his triumph as certain, regardless of how many failures he encountered. So question yourself, what truly ignites your spirit, not what culture dictates you should want, not what appears sensible or secure, but what awakens something profound within you. What concept haunts your thoughts? What ambition would you pursue even through 1,000 defeats? That is your authentic vision. That is the force that will propel you when resistance appears. Once you identify this purpose, document it, transfer it to paper, make it concrete. Research shows that documenting your objectives dramatically enhances your likelihood of attaining them. Why? Because it transforms them from abstract concepts into defined targets. When something is written, it becomes tangible. It becomes your commitment. Then visualize it constantly. Visualization stands as one of the most transformative tools for achievement, champions, innovators, and exceptional performers. Use it to program their minds for victory. When you can mentally experience achieving your objective, when you can emotionally feel it as already accomplished, you generate unstoppable momentum. Your subconscious begins manifesting that vision in reality. But visualization alone remains insufficient. You must conduct yourself as if your success is inevitable. Too many remain dreamers while few become doers. They await ideal circumstances, perfect timing, or guaranteed outcomes. But the truth remains, success belongs to those who advance, who embrace uncertainty, who step into the unknown with absolute conviction. Success isn't about fortune, it's about dedication. It's about showing up consistently, executing the necessary work, and refusing surrender even during difficulty, even when motivation wanes, even when the world insists it's impossible. Because here's the revelation: the moment you decide your success is non-negotiable, the universe begins working in your favor. You'll attract ideal collaborators, perfect opportunities, and favorable conditions. You'll develop the resilience required to overcome obstacles, and most crucially, you'll evolve into someone deserving of the success you desire. So make this decision now. No more justifications, no more delays. Transform your vision into obsession, document it, visualize it, experience it emotionally. Then take massive action, because those who triumph don't merely hope for achievement, they demand it, and accept nothing less than complete realization. 2. Conviction, believing in yourself when no one else will. What the mind can envision and believe it can accomplish, success isn't merely about effort. It's about cultivating unshakable conviction that you will triumph. This belief forms the foundation upon which all extraordinary achievements are constructed. When circumstances appear impossible, when everyone tells you it cannot be done, your conviction becomes the driving force, propelling you forward. Without it, challenges become insurmountable, but with it, even seemingly impossible goals become attainable. Conviction isn't merely an abstract feeling, It represents a choice every single day. You must decide to believe in yourself, despite setbacks, despite failures, despite the doubts attempting to infiltrate your consciousness. It's simple to maintain belief when everything progresses smoothly, but authentic conviction manifests when circumstances appear hopeless. That's when you must remain steadfast and remind yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I will succeed. The greatest intellects throughout history understood this principle. Steve Jobs revolutionized multiple industries, not because he possessed resources, but because he maintained unwavering faith in his vision. Marie Curie overcame tremendous obstacles but persisted because she refused to accept defeat. These individuals refused to let external forces determine their value. Instead, they imposed their conviction upon reality, and the world had no alternative but to respond accordingly. You see, your mind represents an extraordinary instrument. It can either elevate you toward greatness or drag you into the abyss of doubt and mediocrity. Your thoughts shape your existence. If you believe failure is inevitable, you will unconsciously make decisions leading to defeat. But if you believe with absolute certainty that success is guaranteed, then your actions will reflect that certainty and existence will respond accordingly. This isn't about blind optimism. This concerns aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with your objectives. It involves developing unwavering certainty that success isn't a question of if, but when. Your mind must be trained to expect excellence. When you accomplish this, opportunities appear where others perceive obstacles. Solutions emerge where others see problems. But conviction alone remains insufficient. You must act. You must take bold steps toward your vision. You must persist, even when results aren't immediate. The path to achievement rarely appears smooth. It's filled with challenges, failures, and rejections. But those who continue advancing armed with unshakable self-belief eventually reach their destination. Ask yourself, how would you behave if you knew with absolute certainty that you would triumph? How would you carry yourself? How would you communicate? How would you approach challenges? Act as if you're already successful, and soon enough, reality will align with your conviction. Achievers don't wait for external validation. They create their own certainty and compel the world to acknowledge their worth. The truth remains, no one else will believe in you until you believe in yourself. No one will invest in your vision if you hesitate to invest in it first. If you doubt yourself, the world will reflect that doubt back to you. But if you carry yourself with absolute confidence, if you operate as though success is inevitable, you'll draw opportunities, supporters, and resources toward you like a magnet. Ultimately, success represents a self-fulfilling prophecy. It isn't reserved for the fortunate or privileged. It belongs to those daring enough to believe in themselves even when everyone else doubts. The world doesn't determine your potential. You do. So awaken each day and choose conviction. Choose to behave as though you're already victorious. And soon the world will have no choice but to follow. 3. Doubt conditioning, programming your mind for excellence. The most accomplished individuals throughout history, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey, all understood one fundamental truth. Your thoughts create your reality. Every invention, every breakthrough, every empire initially existed as mere thought before materializing into existence. What you believe about yourself, about your capabilities, and about your future determines the actions you take and ultimately the life you create. Your mind functions like a sophisticated computer, constantly running programs based on the beliefs you install. If you fill it with doubt, fear, and negativity, it will operate accordingly, directing you toward failure and disappointment. But if you consciously program your mind for excellence, if you choose to saturate it with confidence, ambition, and certainty, your existence will transform dramatically. Each day, you must control this programming. The environment surrounding you overflows with distractions, with negativity, with individuals insisting you cannot succeed. But you must determine which thoughts take root in your consciousness. You must actively rewire your neural pathways for success. How? By declaring powerful affirmations, by visualizing yourself achieving your objectives, by training your subconscious to expect excellence. When you awaken each morning, before the day unfolds, declare your dominance over your existence. Stand confidently, Look directly at yourself and affirm, I am extraordinary. I am unstoppable. I am destined for greatness. Initially, your mind may resist. Years of negative conditioning may whisper, but what if I fail? What if I'm inadequate? Dismiss these thoughts. They represent remnants of a past you're abandoning. Continue repeating your affirmations. Continue reinforcing your belief, because eventually your mind will accept these statements as facts. And once your mind believes, your actions will follow. Your thoughts dictate your emotions, and your emotions drive your behavior. If you believe you're unstoppable, you'll carry yourself with confidence. If you believe success is inevitable, you'll persist through obstacles. If you believe you're destined for greatness, you'll attract opportunities others overlook. But belief alone remains insufficient. You must act in alignment with that belief. A champion doesn't merely declare their greatness. They train, they practice, they refine their abilities daily. A successful entrepreneur doesn't merely contemplate wealth. They take calculated risks, they innovate, they outwork their competition. So question yourself. What would the optimal version of you do today? How would your most successful self think, act, and present themselves? Begin living that reality now, not tomorrow, not when circumstances feel right, now. Repetition represents the key. The more you affirm, visualize, and act in alignment with success, the more natural it becomes. It transforms from practice into identity, and once success becomes your identity, nothing can restrain you. Society will attempt to shape you, culture will attempt to impose limitations, but remember, you control your thoughts. You control your reality. The most powerful weapon you possess is your mind. Train it, program it, and unleash its complete potential. Awaken each day and declare it. I am extraordinary. I am unstoppable. Because once you truly believe it, the world will have no alternative but to acknowledge it. Expertise. Surface knowledge isn't enough. Specialized expertise creates true success. The world doesn't reward those who know a little about everything. It rewards those who become masters of their discipline. The highest achievers, the greatest innovators, the wealthiest individuals share one common attribute. They dominate a specific domain. Effort alone doesn't suffice. Countless individuals work diligently daily, yet remain trapped in mediocrity. Why? Because they lack the depth of knowledge required to distinguish themselves. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is mastery. The elite aren't merely those who exert effort. They're those who sharpen their abilities to an exceptional level. They possess an advantage others lack. So what must you master? What skill, knowledge, or expertise will distinguish you? This question separates champions from contenders. If you aim to lead your field, you must possess knowledge others lack. You must develop comprehension so profound and refined it makes you irreplaceable. This demands relentless commitment to learning. You must study, you must read, you must learn from masters, seek mentors, analyze their strategies, and apply their wisdom. Consume books that expand your thinking. Observe industry leaders and determine what drives their success. Dive deep, master the nuances and details. In today's landscape, information abounds, but passive consumption remains inadequate. You must take action. Knowledge without application represents wasted potential. Too many individuals read books or attend seminars, yet never implement what they learn. The true power of specialized knowledge emerges when you apply it. Test it in real conditions, experiment, fail, adjust, refine, persist, until knowledge transforms into skill and skill evolves into mastery. When you achieve mastery, your value skyrockets. The marketplace pays premium for experts, organizations, clients, and consumers. Don't seek generalists, they pursue specialists who solve problems better than anyone else. The more valuable your knowledge, the more opportunities emerge, the more refined your skills, the more indispensable you become. But here's the revelation. Mastery represents a moving target. Learning never ends. The moment you believe you've arrived marks the beginning of your decline. The world evolves, industries transform, and new knowledge emerges. If you intend to maintain leadership, you must continuously develop the elite, never cease improving. So commit now, decide to pursue mastery, select a domain, a skill, an industry, whatever, aligns with your objectives, immerse yourself, study relentlessly, absorb every fragment of knowledge available, and most importantly, apply what you learn. Let your actions distinguish you from others. General knowledge renders you average. Specialized knowledge makes you formidable. Become the one who knows what others don't. Become the one who has mastered what others have merely explored, and observe as the world rewards your expertise. 5. Dot decision achievement belongs to the decisive. A comprehensive study examining thousands who failed discovered one critical pattern. Indecision represented one of the primary causes of failure. The inability to make choices, the hesitation, the constant second guessing. These silently destroy potential opportunities. Disappear not because people lack capability, but because they hesitate, overthink, and await perfect circumstances. Indecision kills dreams. It paralyzes action and guarantees mediocrity. Every moment spent doubting, analyzing, or waiting for ideal conditions represents time permanently lost. The most successful individuals understand this. They make decisions rapidly and confidently. They trust themselves, their instincts, and their ability to navigate obstacles. They don't require endless validation or reassurance. They decide, they act, they adjust when necessary. Examine the greatest leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries throughout history. They didn't await permission to pursue their dreams. They didn't endlessly debate every possible outcome. They moved with speed and certainty. Jeff Bezos transformed retail because he made bold decisions. The distinction between success and failure often reduces to a simple choice. Will you take action or will you delay? The world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who advance. The elite in any domain don't waste time doubting themselves. They decide, they commit, they execute. And here's the truth. You don't need perfection. You don't need every answer before beginning. You simply need to start. Most believe they require more information, more certainty, or more experience before taking action. But that's false. Clarity emerges from action, not endless analysis. The more decisions you make, the sharper your instincts become, the more risk you accept, the better you navigate uncertainty. Successful individuals understand that even incorrect decisions surpass indecision. Why? Because every choice leads to learning, to experience, to growth. Even mistakes propel you forward. Failure isn't the enemy. Inaction represents the genuine threat, the danger. Isn't making wrong choices, but making no choices. Reflect on this. How often have you delayed decisions and lost opportunities? How many moments of doubt have cost you progress? Now ask yourself, what would happen if you simply decided right now to advance with complete confidence? How much further would you be? It's time to trust yourself. It's time to act as if you're extraordinary, because the elite don't waste time questioning every move they take. Bold steps, they learn, they grow. They don't await certainty, they create it. So make the decision. Stop overthinking, stop hesitating. Whatever dream goal or vision you hold, commit to it. Step forward with confidence. The world belongs to those who decide, those who commit, those who execute. Become that person and watch as your life transforms. 6. Persistence. Refuse surrender. No significant achievement arrives without obstacles. The path to success never appears smooth. It's filled with failures, setbacks, and challenges. Designed to test your determination, every great achiever throughout history, Bill Gates, Richard Branson, Serena Williams, encountered obstacles that would have broken ordinary individuals. But they never stopped. They refused to surrender to failure, and that distinguished them. Defeat isn't final. It represents a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary component of success. Dyson created over 5,000 prototypes before perfecting his vacuum technology. Walt Disney was fired for lacking creativity, yet none allowed failure to define them. They understood a fundamental truth. As long as you continue advancing, you never truly fail. One of the greatest examples of resilience emerges from economic crises. During recessions, millions lose everything: careers, assets, businesses, periods of immense suffering. But within such crises lie opportunities. Those who refused surrender, those who adapted, those who advanced despite hardships, became the next generation of successes. Economic downturns don't merely destroy fortunes, they create them. Because individuals who persisted, those who refused surrender, positioned themselves for achievement when conditions improved. They understood adversity remains temporary, but surrender becomes permanent. The lesson appears clear. Success belongs to those who endure when life knocks you down. Two choices exist: remain down or rise stronger. The world doesn't reward those who quit, it rewards those who persist. The most powerful mindset you can adopt is to act as if defeat remains impossible. When you eliminate surrender as an option, you force yourself to discover solutions. You push through pain, failures, and doubt until victory represents the only possible outcome. Examine any self-made success story and you will observe identical patterns: resilience, persistence, and unbreakable self-belief. The difference between those who achieve and those who don't isn't talent, intelligence, or fortune. It's the ability to continue when others stop. It's the capacity to view failure as opportunity rather than obstacle. Ask yourself, how often have you abandoned potential success because circumstances became challenging? How many dreams have you surrendered because obstacles appeared insurmountable? Now imagine if you had continued. Imagine your position if you had refused to quit. You must train your mind to perceive obstacles as challenges, not barriers. The struggle shapes you, the pain strengthens you. Every time you overcome failure, you become stronger, wiser, and better prepared for the success approaching. Moments will arise when surrender tempts you, when doubt emerges, when you question the value. In these moments, remind yourself, if you refuse surrender, you never truly failed. The only genuine failure is stopping before reaching your destination. Everything else merely represents part of the journey. Success remains reserved for those who persist. The champions of the world aren't those who persist, they're those who never allowed failure to halt them. So make this decision now, regardless of what confronts you, regardless of difficulty. Commit to advancing. Act as if defeat remains impossible, because when surrender isn't an option, success becomes inevitable. 7.Network. Who surrounds you determines your trajectory. One of the most powerful secrets of achievement is this: your associations will determine your advancement. No one succeeds independently. The greatest achievers throughout history didn't reach their level of excellence in isolation. They built powerful networks, strategic alliances, and surrounded themselves with individuals who amplified their ambition. The most successful understand the importance of association. They create masterminds, groups of like-minded individuals who challenge them, support them, and elevate them to higher levels. These groups aren't merely social circles. They represent incubators of excellence, where ideas refine, strategies develop, and mindsets strengthen. When you surround yourself with champions, you begin thinking, acting, and operating at superior levels. Consider, have you noticed how those around you influence your mindset, habits, and ambitions? If you spend time with individuals who complain, make excuses, and accept mediocrity, you'll unconsciously adopt their mindset. But if you surround yourself with those who think expansively, expect excellence, and constantly strive for advancement, you'll naturally elevate to their standard. Examine the most successful figures in history. Steve Jobs had mentors and collaborators in his circle. Despite competition, they challenged each other. Success isn't merely about individual effort. It concerns leveraging the power of association. The truth remains, your environment shapes your reality. If you surround yourself with those who remain complacent, your ambitions will contract to fit that environment. But if you align yourself with those constantly striving for greatness, their energy, mindset, and drive will push you beyond perceived limitation. So how do you build a powerful network? How do you create your own mastermind? First, seek individuals who inspire you. Find those who have already achieved what you're pursuing, learn from them, study their habits, and, if possible, connect with them. If direct access remains impossible, absorb their wisdom through books, podcasts, or online content. Second, eliminate negative influences. You needn't completely remove people from your life, but you must protect your mind from toxic energy. Distance yourself from those who drain motivation, who fill your consciousness with doubt, or who encourage limited thinking. Third, provide value to those around you. Great relationships build on mutual benefit. If you want to connect with powerful, successful individuals, ask yourself, what can I contribute? Offer insight, support, and encouragement. Become someone who elevates others, and you'll naturally attract high-caliber individuals into your existence. Lastly, hold yourself to elevated standards. If you want to associate with great minds, you must operate at their level. Expect excellence from yourself. Commit to growth. Never accept average. Success isn't merely about talent or effort. It concerns positioning yourself in an environment that produces excellence. If you surround yourself with limited thinkers, your dreams will contract, but if you surround yourself with giants, your vision will expand beyond limitations. Remember this: the people around you either elevate you or diminish you. Choose carefully. Surround yourself with those who improve you and observe how far you advance. Subconscious, control it or it controls you. Your subconscious functions like a fertile field. Whatever you plant grows. If you plant doubt, fear, and failure, they root deeply and flourish. But if you plant confidence, belief, and success, your life transforms in ways previously unimagined. The thoughts you consistently feed your mind become the foundation of your reality. Most people navigate life unaware of their subconscious power. They allow negative thoughts, fears, and self-doubt to dominate their mental landscape. They focus on problems instead of solutions, failures instead of opportunities, and like weeds overtaking a garden, these negative thoughts extinguish any possibility of achievement. But those who understand subconscious power take control. They intentionally plant powerful positive beliefs that generate unstoppable momentum each day. You must consciously feed your mind with positivity. This isn't merely positive thinking, it represents necessity. Your mind constantly absorbs influence from surroundings, news, media, and even your interactions can plant seeds of fear, doubt, and limitation if you don't control what enters your mind. Negativity dominates by default. So what action can you take? Become the guardian of your consciousness. Read inspiring material that expands your thinking. Listen to motivational content that ignites passion. Surround yourself with people who elevate and challenge you. Eliminate negativity, reject self-doubt, and immerse yourself in an environment reinforcing your belief in success achievers. Understand this principle. They don't allow negative thoughts to dictate actions. They don't dwell on failures or past mistakes. Instead, they program their minds with thoughts of victory, resilience, and confidence. They visualize success before manifestation. They act as if success remains guaranteed because they understand when the subconscious believes reality shifts to match that belief. Your subconscious can't distinguish between reality and imagination if you repeatedly tell yourself you're a champion, that you're unstoppable, that success remains inevitable. Your mind accepts these statements as truth. And once your subconscious believes your actions, habits, and decisions align with that belief, you'll walk, talk, and think like a champion. You'll recognize opportunities others miss. You'll transform obstacles into stepping stones. This isn't mystical, it's psychological. Athletes use this technique to win championships. Entrepreneurs use it to build empires. Leaders use it to inspire. They understand the battle occurs in the mind before manifestation in reality. Consider this: if you knew with absolute certainty you would succeed, how would you act? Would you hesitate? Would you second guess? Or would you advance with unstoppable confidence? The answer appears clear. When you truly believe in your success, you operate at a higher level. You make bolder decisions. You take smarter risks. You remain persistent even when confronting challenges. Your future forms through thoughts you plant today. Will you allow doubt and fear to grow, or will you take control and plant seeds of confidence, determination, and success? The choice remains yours. From this moment, decide to be intentional with your thoughts. Speak success into existence. Act as if your dreams already belong to you. Train your subconscious to expect greatness and observe as your reality transforms to match your belief. 9. Action. During challenging times, the world experiences turmoil. Economic downturns devastate. Industries eliminate businesses and leave millions struggling. Uncertainty grips society, and most hesitate, afraid to take action. But history reveals a clear truth. Those who took decisive action, whether in business, innovation, or investing, emerged victorious during crisis. People typically freeze. They wait, they hesitate, they hope for improved conditions before moving. But those who waited during downturns, those controlled by fear, ended with nothing. They allowed opportunities to pass, too afraid to accept necessary risks to transform circumstances. Meanwhile, a select few, the bold, the fearless, the action takers, perceived crisis as opportunity. They moved with confidence. They took risks and built fortunes while others remained paralyzed by fear. Examine the visionaries, the entrepreneurs, the investors. During such periods, while masses hesitated, individuals like Rockefeller, Carnegie, and Ford continued advancing. They understood a fundamental law of success. Fortune favors the bold. Those who waited for perfect moments were left behind, while those who seized opportunities despite uncertainty rose to greatness. The identical principle applies today. Success doesn't belong to those who hesitate. It belongs to those making bold moves, taking massive action, and refusing to let fear dictate decisions. The world doesn't reward inaction. It rewards those who step forward with confidence. So what implications exist for you? Waiting isn't an option. If you want to create success, you must act as if success already belongs to you. You must move with certainty. Make decisions quickly, adjust when necessary, and never allow hesitation to paralyze you. Most fail not from lack of ability, but from lack of courage to take action. They overanalyze, second-guess themselves, and consequently miss their moment. But achievers understand. No opportunity ever appears perfect. Risk and unknowns always exist. But success belongs to those who advance despite uncertainty. Examine today's greatest entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders. They don't hesitate. They make bold moves, invest in themselves, trust their instincts, and consequently create opportunities where others perceive obstacles. They act with confidence that success remains inevitable, and their actions reflect that belief. So ask yourself, are you waiting for the right time? Are you allowing fear to restrain you? Or are you prepared to advance, take risks, and claim what belongs to you? If you want to win, you must make decisive action habitual. Stop waiting, stop hesitating, train yourself to move forward even when the path appears unclear. Success represents a mindset built through action. Act as if failure remains impossible. Move as if success already stands guaranteed. Because when you do, your actions begin aligning with that belief. The world yields to those who refuse to wait. Become one of them. Take bold action. Make fearless moves and watch as doors of opportunity swing wide for you. 10. Fear represents the greatest enemy of success. It paralyzes, destroys confidence, and traps people in mediocrity during crisis. Fear destroys more dreams than failure ever could. Economic collapse doesn't merely ruin lives. Fear, stopping people from taking action, from adapting, from advancing when most critical, creates the true devastation. Fear represents a natural instinct hardwired into our minds for protection from danger. But in modern context, fear no longer concerns survival. It is transformed into a mental barrier holding people back from success. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection. These fears don't represent genuine dangers, yet possess power to destroy ambitions, crush confidence, and prevent people from ever realizing potential. But the successful, those who rise above adversity, learn to transform fear into power. They don't allow fear to stop them, instead they use it. They recognize fear indicates stepping outside comfort zones, about to do something meaningful, something possessing power to transform their lives. Rather than retreating, they use fear as a signal to take action. Consider every great success story contains moments of fear. Entrepreneurs risking everything to launch businesses, athletes stepping onto fields before thousands, leaders making decisions shaping history, all experience fear but act regardless. They understand courage doesn't mean absence of fear, but advancing despite it. So ask yourself, what frightens you? Failure, judgment, rejection? Excellent. That indicates you're on the correct path. Things that frighten you most usually possess greatest power to transform your life. Fear signals stepping into something greater than yourself, exactly where you should be. The greatest mistake people make is believing they must eliminate fear before acting. They wait to feel ready to feel confident, but that moment never arrives. Confidence builds through action. The only method to silence fear involves doing what frightens you. Once you take initial steps, fear loses grip. The more you push through, the weaker it becomes. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail appears simple. Successful people do what they fear. They don't allow hesitation to stop them. They understand discomfort represents part of process, that growth requires risk. Each time they experience fear, they remind themselves, fear creates illusions of failure, but the only genuine failure involves surrendering to it. History repeatedly demonstrates this. During economic downturns, many surrender, allowing fear to dictate choices. But those taking risks, investing, adapting, built fortunes. Fear caused masses to retreat, but the fearless advanced, and the world rewarded them. Identical rules apply. Today, the world belongs to those taking action despite fear. Those refusing to let fear control them achieve greatness. They embrace uncertainty, advance even when outcomes aren't guaranteed, and consequently triumph. So what will you do? Will you allow fear to define your existence or transform it into fuel? The choice remains yours. Feel fear, but act regardless, because beyond fear exists everything you've ever wanted, and only those who push through ever experience it. The world never believes in you until you believe in yourself. Act as if you're extraordinary. Walk like it, speak like it, work like it, and eventually the world has no choice but to perceive you that way. Success isn't about luck, it concerns decision. And today I challenge you. Decide. Will you think and grow rich, or await success to find you? The choice remains yours. Now act like you're extraordinary and claim your success. This